Hello, and welcome back to some more Prismata. I went and skimmed over the last episode, and I'm pleased to report, as you guys already know, that it recorded okay. Everything sounds fine. I hope. I mean, I didn't listen to 100% of it, but I listened to quite a lot and didn't hear any issues. I'm going to be pretty sad if that one's messed up too. But since you're listening to this video, I guess that means it was fine, right? Because if that last one had trouble, so would this one, and I'd get frustrated and delete my damn YouTube account at this point. Okay, we have a Ghost Bomb here. Well, red? I mean, green-blue looks pretty good. There's kind of a lot of Absorb Denial here with Cryo Ray and Manticore. They're both pretty good against Doomed Wall. It's not exactly Absorb Denial. Manticore kind of is, but... like, Cryo Ray is very strong right here, I think. Because of Doomed Wall and an Nervy Field, kind of. So I think we want a moderately high economy. We have both good Soak and decent Absorb. And the attackers are like alright, but not amazing. So I think we're just going to go like Natural Conduit, Natural Blast Forge, kind of build some relatively cheap attack. Thermite cores, maybe? I don't know. Try to get a It would be nice to get Manticores. Can I do that? Can I handle having 2 blue? You don't really... The rest of the set discourages having 2 blue, I think. Like, Polywall, you typically don't need... You want a small number of blue when Polywall's in the set. Because you can build Soak. You think so, huh? Third NG. Like, Doomed Wall and Polywall, but also Manticore? Okay, so I think that this is giving me the opportunity to like get a bit greedier and try to go for Manticores, but not so greedy as to have 3 Engineers. I can get a bit more of my economy through Manticore, is what I'm planning here. And Fission Turret and Kinetic Driver are both very efficient, cheap green attackers that I would rather get a Conduit for than drones. Yeah, okay. And, you know, Fission Turret is going to be nuts because you want a ton of green for cryos, right? Yeah, I think this is fine. And I'll just build a Manticore. And then a bunch of drones. I assume you're building a regular wall here. Doomed Wall is going to get no value. Oh, Splitter, huh? I guess you're right. Splitter is better, because you can kill one of my engineers with it. I won't really be able to deny you. I can build an Enervy? That's kind of an overreaction, though. Is it? Is it an overreaction? Like, I think it'll get all the way to 5... It'll get up to its last lifespan and die without being killed. But in the meantime, it's like absorbed 1 damage from like a Splitter, sort of. And then, like, on the future turns, it's sort of absorbing 1. I don't know. I might want one of those. Because, like, what else exactly am I doing with everything here? I don't want attackers yet. Cryo Rays are sort of silly. It's basically a Conduit or an Energy Field, I think. Or maybe an Engineer. Or all those... I could get an Engineer and either of those things, I guess. An Nervy Field would free me up to, like, not need to build a wall next turn. But I think the opponent can just do little enough damage that my Nervy looks stupid. So I think I'm just going to get another Conduit for cryos and stuff. And say, go ahead, you can have an Engineer. And then starting next turn, we're going to try to build attack with fission turrets and kinetic drivers. So like wall splitter leaves me with $9 for a kinetic fission. That seems amazing, right? I don't know. Do I kill this? I guess so. It's better than getting $3. Like I could use the $3. Don't get me wrong, but well, I'd rather just kill the 2 NGs and keep my opponent under some pressure. I can just spend my tech more. Right. Borehole is a green sink. I was planning to spend some of my money on more attackers, but I can just kill some enemy stuff and build less attack. And the Manticore is actually never going to give me money value. Oh well. That actually kind of sucks, doesn't it? Meh. Oh, Doomed Wall, you say? Well, against that I can get Manticore value. I don't know, I guess I could have built a Doomed Wall instead of this wall, but it wouldn't actually be getting much value here. They would just hold the Pixie. Here I do want a Doomed Wall. And we'll just attack for 2. This looks kind of stupid. My wall is not getting value at this point, but that's life. I don't think it was right to build the Doomed Wall earlier. It would be getting not that much value. And it's going to be hard for my opponent to get to 4 green in time to freeze this Doomed Wall, I think. They'd have to build 2 cryos this turn and then 2 cryos next turn, and like, wouldn't they rather spend their green on something else? Meanwhile, I should be able to actually get there against the enemy Doomed Wall. Just by 3 cryos next turn. And I still have a green left for whatever. Okay, I guess that's another way to deny me value, is don't attack into it. Or just buy 4 of them next turn. Alright, sure. But it's getting value next turn. He's attacking for at least 3, so whatever. Isn't it going to be kind of hard for you to build 4 cryos next turn? I kind of think it should be hard. And if you actually do so, I can just lose Doomed Wall onto wall. No, you're only attacking for 3, probably, right? This kills an attacker, so you only actually attack for 2? Yeah, so I'll leave myself open to an exploit here, because the only exploit is they can either, like, let me get value out of my wall, or my Doomed Wall, I should say, or they can click Manticore and then I don't lose my wall, so I don't think they're going to click Manticore here. Yep, seems good. I wonder, they're probably going to lose, yeah, lose the Doomed Wall to, sure. But But this attacker doesn't actually do anything this turn, right? Attacking for 3 is the same as attacking for 2, and attacking for 5 is the same as attacking for 4. So, I don't know. I'm still threatening quite a lot with these cryos, I feel like. And if the enemy doesn't actually build 3 more cryos, then I can actually get value out of my Doomed Wall next turn. Yeah, they can't do it. So this is my tentative plan. Maybe I can come up with something better. But... yeah, attack for 0 here seems pretty good. Meanwhile, I'm still getting exploited a tiny bit because I'm losing a borehole for nothing, so I guess hold a drone, which they freeze. So I guess I force field instead. Ooh, another Manticore is pretty cool. Right? Very cheap way to spend the tech. I don't mind, I'll build all the NGs. I'd love granularity against all the cryos my opponent's hoping to build soon. And of course, next turn, or turn after next, depending on how you think about it, I'll want NGs for my fission turret clicks. Okay, I guess the force field did let them get a tiny bit of Manticore value. Holding drone would have let them get Cryo Ray value instead. I'm not sure which is worse. I do feel ahead though. I'm attacking for a lot more, and I have more freeze. I'm down substantially in drones, but that's fine. My opponent has no access to polywalls because of all my Manticores. I'm in a similar position, of course. I can't build any polywalls right now, but that's fine. Attacking for 10. They're leaving 6 health alive. That's 2 patrollers and a force field. If I let them keep, like, I don't know. If I did this, they can just, yeah, that's stupid. So this, I guess, might be a threat, right? Now they keep just a wall alive or a patroller and get exploited. So this seems useful. Although, can I just click Pixie and do something similar? Now they keep... no, that's not good. This is fine. They either get exploited or lose both attackers. And I'll get just a... do I need a wall? I guess so. But not a Doomed Wall, because they can exploit that reasonably well. More boreholes. So 8 damage, let's say. That's 4 and 4. So I'm 1 short? Hang on. What if I were to click one of these? Does that help somehow? What is 8? 8 is just losing all the walls. 9 is an exploit? Or else losing a patroller. Yeah, this seems okay. No, it's not. Why was that? Okay. I should have frozen a force field, and then it would be an exploit. Yeah. Freeze 1 force field, or 2 even. Is 2 good? I'm not sure. So what are they doing about 12 damage here? They're keeping 3 health alive, that's a wall. So they either lose both their attackers or they get exploited. Okay. Huh. So I guess, like, the issue is I had way more attack for some reason. Why did that happen? I guess, I mean, the obvious answer is I didn't screw around droning for so long. I was able to get, you know, the flagship attacker of the set, Fission Turret, and I also was able to get a bunch of Cryo Rays, which my opponent wanted to get but couldn't actually get. Right. Yeah, and they built this 4th conduit, but I'm actually amazed they were able to spend as much green as they were. I guess they had more drones than me, but... yeah, just, being able to build I built attackers sooner, I guess, is the answer. And also Fission Turret is, like, disgusting in general. Got some good exploits as well, although, as we saw, I sort of missed at least one. Yeah, so this is the, we'll analyze this and I'll show you what I mean. So, I said, oh, 9 attack. Well, they can't do that on just walls. They have to lose a force field, and then they're not absorbing for full. But they can just use 2 force fields and 1 fewer wall for the same effect. So what I needed to do was freeze at least 1 force field. And actually, I think both would be correct. Because now they must lose 1 patroller. And unless they lose the second, they will also be exploited for 1. So this is clearly fantastic value, and I should accept it. It's a bit weird to be like clicking Pixie and Manticore to decrease your attack by 1, but it so happened that I wanted the money, and this was a convenient amount to attack for. So I missed this. That would have been an improvement for sure. And getting all this green was just enough to make my opponent give up, as well as, I guess, this freeze. Because you have to lose at least 1 attacker, and unless you lose another, you're exploited. Yeah. Getting the second Manticore is a play I sort of lucked into. I was kind of, like, in a position of, like, I couldn't figure out what to do with all my blue because I wanted to build a Fission Turret and a bunch of NGs. And I didn't want to build walls. And you don't really want to build splitters? That was the thing, was like, I wanted to build a borehole, but I was already spending my green on Fission Force Field. And so I was like, oh, I have to build a crappy splitter, and then I can't spend all my blue. But ta-da, Manticore to the rescue, a very, you know, a blue sink, which is what I needed. So I'm glad I noticed I had that available, but of course it would have been better to plan for it. Is there some way I could have arranged to have more engineers on this turn? Well, it wouldn't have helped, right? They attacked me for enough, like, for just 4, so I lost. You know, no number of engineers would have avoided this exploit. Okay, cool. Let's move on to another game. Hey, we're above 1900 again for the first time in a long time. Oh, there's the guy we just played against. Ghost Bomb against Capulet Killer. Who's winning? Is either player going to be able to get grid? If anybody can, it'll be Ghost Bomb, but it's kind of... Whoa, you can actually get the second Sinestra. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I think I favor Ghost Bomb here. I mean, sure, you can get a Sinestra, but you're losing a bunch of drones to do it, and you're floating blue and red. I mean, obviously Ghost Bomb has one fewer Flame Animus, but being up a Sinestra is well worth it. Okay, I guess we'll never see. It's Temron. I think I've mentioned, well, I know I've mentioned before, he was the first human I ever played Prismata against. We knew each other from Dominion. Wow, a lot of, like, very slow stuff. This is absolutely a Deadeye set. It's useful to kill drones because attackers are not good. And then they just get absorbed, so at least Deadeyes are doing something, and you'll want to get Manticores too. Might very well get 4 blue this game, honestly. I think third NG into all of that is good. You'll want green for Chieftains someday, but I don't know if you start with green. I think you don't typically in Deadeye games. I never know what the player 2 Deadeye line is. Do you go third NG into just like drones and... No, you still don't have enough, so like... You could go BBD next turn, but that's pretty crazy, right? Well, like if you build a third NG, you're floating 4 gold for a really long time. And eventually you just have to cut drones to get the Deadeye. I think you just have to get the third engineer and go along, but I honestly don't know. I thought, my understanding of like the received wisdom of... Actually, I'm gonna not do this because there's Manticore. Yeah. I feel so dumb about like floating all this $4 for so long, but I think it is actually useful because I can finally now spend that money on drones instead of on green. It's gonna be a long time before I want green. So, if I get a third Blast Forge, I can get a Deadeye and a Splitter, and then later get a Manticore and a Splitter. That seems okay. It seems like the kind of game where you might want to do that. Meanwhile, drone counts, I'm just down by 1, right? All of this super slow... Oh, I'm actually not down by 1 because I have Manticore. All this super slow stuff I've been doing is not actually hurting my economy. I'm a little behind on Deadeyes, but that's fine. Yeah, I agree. 4 blue. I did say this was going to happen. I maybe should have built the 4th blue earlier, but... So now I can get Manticore or Deadeye. Meanwhile, he's also getting Manticore Deadeye. I'm losing an engineer. Oh well. Oh, double Deadeye. Really? I guess that's true. The Steel Splitter is actually killing my engineers, so it's sort of valuable to keep around. Drone supplies. We each have 3 left. So I could kill 2 NGs. I'd rather have $6. I don't think we need any red. Like, I could do this to let me build the rest of the drones next turn, along with 2 Deadeyes. That seems pretty good. Although, honestly, hang on. This splitter is doing something right now, right? He's protecting against an attack. And that's useful. I can convert him next turn along with my next Deadeye, maybe? I kind of need a grid, don't I? So I can stop holding these stupid splitters back? But not really. I don't know. The Deadeye is fine. Yeah, this steel splitter is producing $2 per turn by saving the engineer. I think that's worth keeping. Okay. Actually, do I need the grid? I'm about to have the Deadeye defending. I guess I'll take it so that I can build 2 Manticores. Sure. Wouldn't you rather have $3 than killing 2? Really? Red? I would think you're a bit over-teched here. Like, yeah, you have a lot of money now, but Chieftain and Omegas are not enough? You know, maybe I don't want Manticores. Maybe I want an Omega. No, I don't. I just have this problem that I can't spend this green on anything, you know? I could build more red. I could build red, but I was just saying that seems silly, so like... How much economy am I really going to have? I don't think I want the red. I'm going to have these Manticores start attacking next turn. They're no longer economical units. I can deny him 3 absorb to give myself $12. I don't know. It's giving him a lot of engineers. I just want the Gauss cannons now. Should have probably held one of these to build a conduit so I could start building chieftains. But I guess this turn is the turn that I want my first Omega. Sorry, did I just accidentally touched the video editing software. I don't think it made a difference, but... Oh my gosh. How is he attacking for so much? I don't have any money. Well, this is stupid. These Gauss cannons are, in fact, not that great. Because I'm not attacking him, but... Oh, jeez. I really need this Omega, don't I? Man, I'm not happy. The Gauss cannons sucked. If I had just bought conduits, I'd be much happier. Conduit and, like, floated some money so that I could afford Omega Chieftain this turn. Yeah, and that would have been a cheaper way to spend all my tech to... I mean, I guess this is fine, right? No, I can't really build chieftains very long. I think I really do want some chieftains. This is gonna have to be my last Omega, and then it's basically like Splitter Chieftain train is my plan. This Splitter probably actually should have been a grid. I don't have really all that much defense. Well, okay, I planned it perfectly, and I can exactly afford, no, I'll build a wall. Yeah, I think wall and actually attack with as much of this as I can. Help, I'm lost. What's going on? Yeah, this seems fine. I should have not clicked the Manticore. It gave me enough to build this NG, but I didn't need the NG. I should have unclicked it to attack him for more. I don't have enough green to build a chieftain here. God, these defense grids sicken me. I think I need to build one. I don't know, maybe he's right to be clicking his Omega. It's clearly like more damage per turn. Like he's absorbing for 2 less and dealing 3 more damage, so that's good, but defensive tempo is still worth a lot, right? This lets him hold back up to 2 attack for free, which is, I guess, just rhinos. Okay, I guess I'll live with it. Oh, or something to do with Manticore clicks somehow? Oh, right, Manticores do hold back 2 attack. I thought it was 3, but yeah, I was confused. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. I guess. So this kills 1 attack. Which means he gets a free exploit if he attacks with everything, but I guess that's kind of hard, isn't it? I could do this to build a grid. And then I'm not necessarily killing the attack. I think that's bad. I can build a wall instead next turn. And this way I get more attack right away. Wall supplies are even, we each have 2. That's including the 2 he just built? Yeah. Alright, he's now holding back his Omega. Well, sure, since it gives him an exploit. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a problem for me, actually. Yuck. But I guess it gives me the freedom to, like, do some pretty good stuff, like just build a chieftain here again. And I don't have to wall? Or click any manticores? This is an exciting game. I do not know who's winning. Certainly my opponent has done things that have made me feel dumb. I've done things that have made me feel dumb. But it's reasonably close, I think. Is he gonna offer me this? I think I can take it, can't I? Why would I not? Like, I lose this chieftain, but I can defend. I'm fine. Is this right, though? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not right. Maybe I should still hold my chieftain back. And I don't even need the force field because he loses at least 1 attack, probably 2. This gives me 7 more. Well, 9. Yeah. This gives me 7 health more and him 4 health more. 3 health more. 4. Yeah, I think this is better. He's out of walls. That's pretty serious. I still have walls and force fields and my chieftains to hold. Wow, another Omega, really? I'm surprised you can manage that. I would think just a couple splitters is better as, like, defenders. This isn't killing any attack, so I could consider doing this to build a grid, and I think I should. Or I guess not splitters to defend, but grids to defend. Let's turn on. I don't usually bother to do this, but since Temron is someone I haven't spoken to for a while, I'm worried he might send me a bunch of messages that I would have to respond to, which I don't want to do while I'm recording. Do I need the force field? He's losing at least 2 attack here. Correct, so I do not need the force field. Let's just build a grid and an NG. Should I hold back the Omega? No. He's attacking for at least, what, 12 probably? 7 and 5. That is actually good value. He can't do much of an exploit. I'm just gonna do this. I mean, we clearly have him here. He's, I don't know, not resigning because reasons, but the game is over. I have a ton of defense left in all this green, right? Tempo in chieftains. I could attack with this, but I don't think I should. He's losing 0 attack this way, but I get another chieftain, which seems pretty amazing. I can't... There we go. So that was a long one, for sure. I mean, we knew it would be when we saw those big defenders, and lots of things that want to be built before attack, or instead of attack. Alright, gonna be a long review, I guess. I think the biggest turning points in this game were not going 3rd Engie. I think that that is correct with Manticore. I would have liked a 4th blue here, but I couldn't quite get it. Maybe I could have cut this splitter to build a grid. Like, cut splitter Engie to build a grid Blast Forge instead. But part of the idea with 4 blue is you want to be like building Manticore and Deadeye. Double Deadeye is great, but you can only do it once, and then after that, you kind of have an odd number of blue lying around. Like, I don't know. I guess you could buy Splitter Grid and then Manticore Deadeye or something. Maybe that works out okay. But I wanted drones. Now that I have enough tech to build the stuff I want to build, it's time to go back to droning. Because it's still going to be a long time before anyone needs to defend. Manticores are just, like, pretty good. Did I end up... Yeah, I ended up saving this splitter for a while. I don't know. Anyway, so that was... One turning point was, like, going lower econ to get the Manticores sooner and the Deadeyes later. And the other was getting green instead of red. I think that the attempt to buy red stuff here is like pretty shocking. You already have enough tech to build attackers, right? You can spam steel splitters. And like, yes, Tarsiers are, in general, more efficient attackers. Well, so here's the thing. Tarsier is not really much more efficient than Steel Splitter. Wow, right? Like, who could imagine such a thing? But the main efficiency, the main reason that Tarsier is the primary attacker you buy in, like, base set is because you can buy 2 of them with a single tech building. If you already have all the tech you need, they're about as efficient as splitters. About. And splitters can also turn into defenders or into manticores. So spending $6 to get the tech to build different attackers, which are about as efficient as the ones you could have built anyway, seems like overdoing it. It may seem like you have enough gold, you know, to spend a ton of tech, but that's only temporary, right? You'd prefer to attack with your manticores, and you still have a lot of drones left to lose to Deadeyes. Even my second conduit was perhaps a bit of an, like, I don't know. I did it because I had not enough green on the turn that I built these Gauss cannons. I think that was an overreaction. I should have just said, you know, like, build a chiefs in every other turn, which is what I ended up doing anyway. But I guess in the meantime, I was accumulating green and I could build force fields, which was pretty cool. So maybe the second conduit was worth it. But I definitely do not like this Gauss cannon turn. They did absolutely nothing, and if they had been anything else, they would have done something. Even floating the money would have been just as good. But better still would have been to build a couple engineers first to give me granularity, and then the Gauss cannons would transpose to the same thing, except that it's easier for me to defend. And instead of Gauss cannons, I could get Chieftain, which would be like way better. And I don't really know why... Like, at a high level, it seems to me that green is better than red here. And, like, chieftains are better than not chieftains. But the specific details of how that got us to the point where he was out of defense and I wasn't are unclear to me. Obviously, like, holding chieftains is pretty cool, but in the meantime, he was being much more responsible than I was about, like, building infusion grids. I don't know. I guess by waiting until the last possible moment to build my defenders, by building wall, like, I'm getting more inflationary value out of my money. I can spend it on attackers and then walls instead of on grids and then grids. And holding back the Omega lets me do more of that because I have more defensive tempo. Right, like imagine if you cut these two walls and held back the Omega instead. Right, that's how much you get from holding back an Omega, is you can cut two walls and build something else with the money. Splitters or grids aren't really the only options here. Maybe, yeah, splitters or grids, but those are both good. And then you could build the walls next turn while continuing to hold the Omega. I don't know. I think that, like, not having chieftains was a really big deal. But this one, I don't know. He did deny me some value here for sure by holding all this stuff back. I didn't consider that possibility. But it was only denying me 2. And, like, he's doing it through the somewhat inefficient method of holding back manticores, right? He denied me 2 absorb, but in exchange, he gave me 6 health and gained $9. So he sort of gave me 4 health net, giving 6 and taking 2, while giving himself $9. It's an okay deal. In the meantime, though, he also, like, delayed getting his Rhino charges. And finally had a turn where he held back the Omega, which I think was what you wanted to do, like, all along. So this sort of... But maybe I'm wrong. That's my assessment. He could be right here. I don't know. He just somehow ran out of grids and walls. I don't get it. He was doing more damage, right? Oh no, he wasn't. I was doing way more. Why? How? I was holding back my Omega to defend and still doing 8 more damage? It must be because he was, like, harvesting his manticores much more than I was. What? I'm not reading the graph wrong. I'm red, and I'm above him by 8. How did, like, yeah, I guess, like, how often did he actually click his manticores? Let's look at that. So here, you know, in the early game, of course, you're sort of, like, mostly clicking them. Although, was he? I guess he wasn't. He was, like, clicking and then changing his mind. Starting on turn 15, he clicked them all, and then clicked most of them, and then clicked them all, and clicked them all. Okay. So that's what was going on, is his manticores stayed drones for a very, very long time, whereas mine were primarily attackers, being drones only when absolutely necessary. As a result, he had substantially more money than I did, as the graph will show. Yeah, starting at like exactly the same point on the graph where I started doing way more damage, he started having way more economy. So I was doing more damage, and he was on the back foot buying stuff to replace it until he just ran out of defensive supplies. Huh. Even though he was clicking Omega. That's so odd. I guess it's just like those Manticores, right? Like, he has a bunch of Tarsiers. He was clicking his Omega. It just seems bizarre to me that I was doing more damage. But I guess, like, I had Chieftains, a couple Gauss Cannons, an Omega. It adds up, I suppose. And, like, these were mostly attacking instead of mostly being drones. Yeah. Huh. What an outcome. I don't know what would have happened if he'd gotten a Conduit instead of that Animus. It seems like he's ahead at this point. Right? He's killed my drones more quickly than I've killed his. He has now more Manticores. Although I guess that's about to change as I convert 2 more Splitters into Manticores. These Gauss Cannons, so bad. Yeah, I don't know. I think if he had, at this point, built a Conduit, he's like kind of half a turn ahead of me on most things. And if he had just committed to building Chieftains... Wait, he floated 10? For Tarsiers and Omega, I see. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. If you'd built like 2 conduits here instead, it's a little more expensive. But then you can spend your $8 on Chieftains instead of Tarsiers, which is going to be way better. You'll have to click an Omega to do it, but or a Manticore to do it, but that's fine, right? Like, clicking these 3 Manticores right now is pretty reasonable value, I think. It gives you $9 in exchange for not killing my NG for like, it's like, yeah, $9 in exchange for basically a wall. It would have been really great to click here. And if you had gotten 2 conduits as well, you could start an actual Chieftain train while I'm just sort of faffing around. I don't have an Omega, I don't have Chieftains, I have like nothing. Yeah, I think that was where things went wrong, is like getting red. And clicking Manticores late instead of early. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad to beat Temron. I know he's a strong player. Almost certainly ahead of me on the leaderboard, right? Yeah, 57th. Cool. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.